What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to review Spider-Man Brand New Day. This video will contain spoilers in it. I have tried to record this video probably over 20 times. I have a lot to say about this movie, and I'm not going to upload another version of this review until I'm absolutely positively sure that I'm extremely proud of this review. Um, Hopefully this is the version that I upload. But yeah, um, I love this movie. I love this movie. I think this is the best live action Spider-Man movie. I think Tom Holland has never been better as Spider-Man. In fact, I think Tom Holland may be my favorite live action Spider-Man now because of this movie. This is the most mature Spider-Man story that we've ever gotten adapted into live action. This is the most street level Spider-Man story that we've ever got um adapted into live action. Or yeah, it's the most street level Spider-Man story that we've ever gotten adapted into live action. He's very this Spider-Man movie, yes, he fights the Hulk. Yes, he fights Jean Grey. Sadie Sink's character is Jean Grey. We'll talk about that in this review, obviously. A- And and yes, he fights the Hulk. Yes, he fights Jean Grey. But but this Spider-Man movie almost feels like it took Spider-Man back to basics and he's truly the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in this. But also you have the Peter Parker storyline. Like Peter Parker is still in a lot of pain for what he had to do at the end of No Way Home. He's still in a lot of pain. He doesn't know how to approach Ned and MJ, and he doesn't know how to balance his two lives. One life is Peter Parker, and one life is being Spider-Man. He doesn't know how to balance those. So in most of his movie, we mostly see Spider-Man. When we do get Peter Parker scenes in this movie, and when he is Spider-Man, you can still feel his pain because he wants friends. He wants to be um to not be alone anymore. He wants a life, but he's too afraid to um to accept um to accept help and to accept um his and to go find his friends and make new friends because he doesn't want anybody to get hurt because he's also Spider-Man. So that's the main plot of a movie. Peter Parker learning that he can't do this alone because if he isolates himself, he's just gonna be in pain for the rest of his life, right? And through Peter learning that, he helps Jean Grey learn that she has to go find her own family and her own friends. And Spider-Man is a friend to Jean by the end of this movie. And um and one of the best scenes in the MCU in my opinion is the scene where you have MJ and Peter on the rooftop in this film, and Jean possesses MJ's mind and kisses Spider-Man as MJ, but and makes Peter think that MJ remembers who Peter Parker is. And that is when like you can tell throughout the first act of the film that Peter is a lone, like he's very lonely and very sad. But like when that happens, when Peter thinks that MJ remembers who he is, you can just see Peter like break down and into MJ's arms. And then when when Jean says, "That's right, Spider-Man, hold her." And you like you get you almost get emotional cuz you can feel his Peter's pain, and that's some of the best acting Tom Holland's ever done in his whole career, right? This whole movie is some of the best acting Tom Holland's done in his whole career. Um, I liked the introduction of Jean DeWolf in this movie. If you guys have played the Spider-Man Insomniac games, the Jean DeWolf and Spider-Man relationship in this movie reminded me of the relationship between Yuri Watanabe and Spider-Man in the Insomniac games, right? Obviously, two completely different characters, but their relationship, like, Spider-Man has a friend on the police force in both of these versions of Spider-Man, right? It really reminded me of that. And you guys know how much I love the Spider-Man Insomniac games, and I cannot wait for Wolverine to come out in September. I cannot wait for that game. Um, the Insomniac version of Spider-Man is my all-time favorite version of Spider-Man, so I cannot wait to see where that story goes. But anyway, so that really reminded me the relationship between um, Jean DeWolf and Spider-Man in this movie really reminded me of the Spider-Man Insomniac games. Also, the way this movie is shot is incredible. And what do I mean by that? This this movie is shot with a lot of um practical uses. Tom Holland is actually in the suit doing like flips and web swinging and fights and stuff like that. Um or a stunt performer is actually in the suit. I don't know if it's Tom Holland or the stunt performer because I wasn't there, but it's actually a real person doing most of the action in this movie. It's not CGI. Obviously, they use CGI to create the Hulk and to bring back real Hulk and get rid of Professor Hulk. But but he so Dustin Daniel Cretton did a great job of making Spider-Man look like the coolest version of Spider-Man that he's ever looked in a live action movie, in my opinion. Like, when he fights the hand in this movie, Jackie Chan's stunt team worked on this movie, y'all. Jackie Chan's stunt team worked on this movie. And those guys are some of the most gifted, most talented martial artists on the planet. So when like the hand fight scene, when Jean Grey takes control of the hand and has them fight Spider-Man, that's incredible. That fight scene is incredible. The acting from Jacob Batalon, from John Bernthal, from Tom Holland, from Zendaya, from Sadie Sink, from the actress that plays Jean DeWolf, from Michael Mando, from all the actors in this movie are top performances. And um as I said, Tom Holland's never been a better Spider-Man than he is in this movie. Tom Holland is the best he's ever been as Spider-Man in this movie. Um, and this movie may have turned Tom Holland into my favorite Spider-Man. I've only seen the movie once, so right now Andrew is still my favorite live-action Spider-Man. Um, but Tom Holland, once I see the movie again, because I already pre-ordered it on digital even before I saw the movie, right? Once I see the movie again, then I might make that claim that Tom Holland is my favorite live action Spider-Man, but I'm not going to do that based off of one um viewing of the movie. So but yeah, Tom Holland has definitely um rised up in my rankings for my favorite versions of Spider-Man because of this movie, though. I'm willing to say that. Um, the Punisher and Spider-Man's dynamic and friendship in this movie. Now, when they first announced that Punisher was going to be in this movie, right? I was like, okay, how are they going to do PG 13 rated Punisher, and how are they going to still make him feel like the Punisher. He still feels like the Punisher in this movie. He's like, it's not as like he's not dropping as many F-bombs, or he doesn't drop any F-bombs. There's actually a really funny scene where Spider-Man webs his mouth up when he's about to drop an F-bomb. Right. But he's still the Punisher. Like, when he fights the Hulk, when he kind of fights the Hulk, he comes in with a machine gun going, "Ugh!" and shooting the Hulk, shooting the Hulk with a machine gun, right? When he feels that Jean Grey is a threat to the world, he shoots Spider-Man. Well, he shoots Jean Grey, and then Spider-Man gets in the way of his bullet. Frank is very like, if Frank, the way Frank acts in the comics and in the MCU is very like, if there's a threat, I'm going to take out that threat permanently. You still have that, you still have that in this movie. Like, I would love to see more team ups between Spider-Man and Punisher, because like, when Punisher first appears in this movie, you can tell that Spider-Man and Punisher have a relationship, and Tom Holland and Jon Bernthal have great chemistry. You guys know I also want to become an actor one day, but that's my goal one day. One of my goals one day. And this movie inspired me as an actor. All the performances in it were stellar. One of the ways I can become a great actor is by watching great performances and studying great performances like this. So, this movie inspired me as an actor. Also, I really liked the way they introduced the mutants. I really liked the way they introduced Jean Grey to the MCU, because Jean now is on a redemption arc. Also, they set up future plot lines for the MCU. Like, Peter Peter made the mutant inhibitor collar, or inhibitor chip. Um, Peter made that. Peter made that for himself, but he also made one for Jean. So Damage Control is going to use that to capture mutants in the future of the MCU. So I'm interested to see Spider-Man's dynamic with other mutants besides Jean, because Jean and him are friends. But like, how's Magneto? Whoever they get to play Magneto, which I might do a video on that later on today. How's Magneto going to feel about Spider-Man creating a mutant inhibitor chip? Right? I know some people don't like that. Like, I know a guy that I watch, that I respect very much. A guy that I watch on YouTube that I respect very much, that doesn't like that Spider-Man created the inhibitor chip. But I like that, because that makes the Spider-Man and X-Men relationship, and Spider-Man and mutant relationship very interesting. Like, some mutants are gonna hate Spider-Man for doing that. Some mutants are gonna understand why Spider-Man had to do that. Right? Um, right? Also, um, like, I love the way that Jean's gonna be on a redemption arc now. Like, she's gonna be on a redemption arc. Like, she literally almost destroyed New York looking for her sister. Now they could write it in multiple different ways. Like, Jean is redeemed by the end of this movie in the audience's eyes, right? Me as an audience member, they redeem Jean at the end of this movie, because you find out throughout the movie, Jean was looking for her sister Sarah the whole time. Jean was trying to take down William Metzger, who is played by Tremel Tillman. Tremel Tillman does a great job um, um, playing the main villain of this film, right? Jean's the main antagonist that Spider-Man fights, but in terms of the main villain, it's William Metzger. So So I can't wait to see more of William Metzger in the future of the MCU, right? Um, but yeah, I like this is like Sadie Sink is our Jean Grey probably for the next 20 years, and she did a great job, and the writers of this movie did a great job introducing Jean to the MCU. And guys, Jean was born in the MCU. She was. This isn't like any multiverse stuff. Like Jean, we're gonna get multiverse stuff in Doomsday and Secret Wars, obviously. But Jean is from the MCU. Like at the end of this movie, she goes to Rochester, New York. Which, if you're a comic book head and you're a comic book nerd, you know where that is. And if you don't, I'll tell you. Rochester, New York is where Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters is. So that sets up the X-Men's future, right? That sets up Jean's future, right? Um and then yeah, so and then yeah, it was a great movie. It was an incredible movie. Again, the performances were stellar, the acting, the well, yeah, the performances were stellar, the action was stellar, the the web swinging scenes were stellar. Like Dustin Daniel Cretton did a great job. I hope one day he does direct Shang-Chi too, because I really like the character of Shang-Chi. But I really want him to stay on this Spider-Man trilogy. I want him to direct Spider-Man 5 and 6. And I cannot wait for his Naruto movie. I am a massive Naruto fan. And that's Dustin Daniel Cretton's next movie. He's directing a Naruto movie, which I'm very, very, very excited for. But I'm hoping if Dustin Daniel Cretton continues to direct these Spider-Man movies, I'm hoping that he continues to do what he did with this movie, make Spider-Man look as cool as he did in this movie. But even if Dustin doesn't direct the next Spider-Man movies, I'm hoping the following directors of Spider-Man 5 and 6, if Dustin doesn't direct them, takes inspiration from Dustin's visual language and his design of Spider-Man and how he makes Spider-Man look so cool. Cause this is like they took a lot of influence from the Spider-Man Insomniac games, which is my favorite version of Spider-Man in any medium. So I really, 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 or the Spider-Man in any medium. That's my favorite version of Miles, and that's my favorite version of Peter. So I really liked that. I really liked that, right? And I cannot wait for Wolverine, the next Insomniac Marvel game that comes out in September. I cannot wait for that. So yeah, for me, this movie, I would give a 9 out of, I mean, not an, I would give a 10 out of 10. And yeah, thank you so much for all your support. If you have seen Spider-Man Brand New Day, please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day, and God bless you guys.